Alright, so today is the pour day. As you can see, we received our bucket material. Now in the video you're going to see where I had mentioned RJ. RJ is another ceramic pour company that makes the ceramic transom pour material. And I thought my wife had ordered from RJ, but apparently she ordered Polymer World, which I checked all the reviews and everything on it, and everything's the same as the RJ. So being that we have it here and we have everything ready, we're going to go ahead and go with the Polymer World. Everything says it's good, just as good a product. It's the ceramic pour material also, so please disregard where I said it was RJ in the video, because there is some spots in the video where I mentioned RJ, and note that it is Polymer World that we got our pour material from. And that's it. Thank you. Alright, well, I bought this boat about 7 or 8 years ago. It was just a shell. I put it all together, wired it all, put the motor on it. Back then we figured out that the transom was a little soft, so I took the cap off, poured it full of resin, clamped it down, let the resin harden. Well, now about 7 or 8 years later, there's as you can see, we're running into the transom. Is really getting soft. I got a crack in the top of it right there. The resin was a good temporary fix. This year we pulled it out and realized that we're going to have to do something a little better, because the resin just didn't, it just had too much give to it, and the glass broke up and all, so it made it weak. So we're going to pull this motor off and we're going to redo this transom. Okay, so we got the motor off. We're about to have to remove all the hardware, the depth finder, the lights that we got on here, this metal plate that we put on here a few years back when we fixed the transom with the resin. I'm going to remove all that. We have a metal plate up here also that we put on when we fixed the transom. So we got to remove all that, and then we're going to make our line and we're going to cut this transom free. Okay, so we got all the hardware off, all the bolts out, depth finder, the tie down rings, the little copper plugs that go in the transom holes for drainage, and we pulled our metal plates out. That was what was in the back side and the front, on the front of the transom. That's what we used when we did the resin job a few years back, and poured the resin in there and stiffened her up a little bit, and the metal worked for a little while and the resin kind of helped a little bit. But as you can see, that's the slot where we put that metal down through. It kind of separated out pretty good. We had it all siliconed up nice, but it separated pretty good, and the whole top of that transom was kind of leaning back and forth. So I don't know if you can see them or not. We got the scribe lines in there for our cuts, and we're about to start cutting. I apologize that I haven't really showed a lot of the work that's being done, because I just don't have somebody else here to hold the camera for me. So I want to try to find something I can put the phone on while I'm doing a little bit of the work, so you can see a little bit. But all in all, you can see what's going on. We removed all our hardware, we got everything off, got the motor off. We're about to start cutting on this transom. Alright, so we started cutting right here. As you can see, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut this transom all the way up and around there and down and across the bottom. We're going to cut this whole skin off the back. Some people will remove this top plate and they dig it all out and get all the wood out, because I didn't mention at the beginning of the video. I should have mentioned it. We're going to do a RJ poured ceramic transom in it. You get all the wood out of the transom and you pour it full of this ceramic, and it hardens overnight, and it's supposed to be really good. All the reviews, everything says it's good. There's a lot of people who are using it. It seems like the way to go when it comes to replacing your transom. And like I said, some people will cut this top cap off and they'll get everything dug out with a chainsaw and clean it all out, get all the wood out that way. or I've seen videos where they cut it out like I'm gonna do and cut the whole skin off the back and clean it out that way. I decided to do it that way because I wanted to make sure that I got every little bit out of it, and I wanted to get inside and make sure that the skin on the back side was in good shape, just in case I had to do a little fixing on that. It's easier to do from the inside. So, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a ceramic pourable transom, and we're about to finish cutting the rest of this skin off. I'll try to get a little video of us cutting, so, but that's what we're doing, the ceramic pourable, and we're about to get to work. We got our line all cut out. Now, that came off really easy. Most of them don't come off that easy. And it's pretty clean on the back too, so we won't have to do a lot of cleaning with that. That's great. But you can tell the wood was completely separated from the transom all the way around. So now this is going to be the fun job, pulling all this wood out. We'll get back with you when we start doing that. Kind of just wanted to show you a little bit of here. I'm going to turn this fan up. You can see what we're dealing with. That whole transom's pretty much rotten. I can pull it right apart. I just wanted to give a little demonstration of what it looked like. I got to get a tarp and throw it on the ground here to catch all this stuff, but I figured it was hanging. I just show you real quick. This is how bad it gets, and we're going to get this all fixed up. When it's done, it's going to be great. You know, I put many transoms in boats before. I worked for Proline when I was younger, and I used to do this. I've never seen a piece of shit like this. I'm sorry for the language, but I've never seen a transom put together like this. Usually the transom is 3 layers of wood chopped together. They lay one down, chop it out, put another one, chop it out with fiberglass top, put it all together, and then put it in the boat, clamp it all down and all. As you can see, this one, with 2 layers, I don't see any chop in between anything. It's just not a very good design. But we're about to fix that. We're going to make this right. So, as you can see, this transom was pretty rotten. It's all coming out really easy. It's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So, don't fret on it. If you want to do it, don't fret on doing it this way, because this ain't that bad. It's really coming out a lot easier than I thought it would. Okay, as you can see, we finished getting all the wood out of the transom. It wasn't too bad. Some of it came out in whole pieces and all, so it really wasn't too bad. We had to stuff everything up under here because it started raining, but we've changed out of our fiberglass clothes, and there's the skin from the back, and it's not bad. It'll clean up real nice when we get to clean it up. And anybody who hasn't worked with fiberglass, a little hint to you: if you do any kind of cutting or anything on fiberglass and all, when you go to wash your clothes, don't wash your underwear with them. You'll be sorry when the next time you wear that pair of underwear. And anybody that does fiberglass will get a laugh out of that one because they know about it. So next thing, we're going to get all this wood that's still attached, because we're doing the RJ transom, RJ poured ceramic transom, and this wood right here needs to come off because they recommend all the rotten wood to come off and out. So we're going to get all this off. We're going to use our handy dandy Milwaukee scraper that goes in reciprocating saw, which is a sawzall in layman's terms, and that's what we're going to use to scrape it, and then we're going to sand it all down and clean it up. So that's our next step in the process of the RJ poured transom. Okay, so as you can see, it cleaned up real nice. I mean, we got everything out of there, got it all vacuumed out, all the wood's out, transom cleaned up nice, the skin is in good shape, everything sanded down real good, got all the wood off of it. This is our outer skin, we got all the wood off of that. Put a little bit of, we put a few deeper scratches in that resin that I had dumped in there that was attached to the transom because it was kind of flat, so we scratched it up a little bit so it would definitely get a good hold. But yeah, everything's coming out real great. Say hi to Gage, hi Gage. But yeah, the transom's coming out good. This wasn't too bad. All of this so far is just one day, so it's really going well. Everything's cleaning out. We're gonna get it all wiped down with acetone real good and cleaned up, and then we can start putting it back together. Okay, for the outer skin, I used just a regular metal grinder wheel because I had that extra resin on there, and it just made it a little harder to sand up. Out on the inner skin, I used this one. It's a Diablo 40 grain sand disc. Worked great. Took everything off. As you can see, everything came out real nice and clean. So, yep. All right, we got it all cleaned out. We vacuumed it all out. We got it all, everything out of it in the bottom. Wiped everything down with acetone, both skins, inside and outside skin down with acetone. We took a rag and put it on a pole and wiped it all around the inside, so we got it clean, nice and clean. And now we're about to put the skin back on. I just had some old PVC board that I had laying around that I'm using for these little scabs, and we're going to screw our skin back on now, and then after that we can get back to work doing the fiberglass work. Takes a little jimmying around while you're doing it, but
All right, she's in.
Alright, back in. Alright, we ground out our seams the best we could with our plate on there. We got all our seams ground out. We'll wipe that all down with acetone, and then we're going to fill those with putty, and then we can take our scabs off and then fill our whatever's left, and then start with the 1708. We're going to glass it in with 1708. I'm going to sand it back a couple of inches all the way around, glass it back in with 1708, get everything fixed up, sand it down and cleaned up, and then we'll do our transom pour, our RJ ceramic transom pour. So I'm kind of getting excited. This is going really well. I really like the way it's going. So next thing is we're going to putty our seams up. Alright, it's raining. Cool things off a little bit. We got all our seams all puttied in. Just waiting for them to kick off. Filled them all up good. So now we're just gonna wait for it to kick off, and we'll get them all cleaned up, and then we'll break out the 1708 and do our major fiberglass patching that we need to do, and we'll have this thing back together. All right. Okay, now it's the next day. All of our putty's cured out nice and hard. Everything's good and hard. So now we just gotta get to grinding on this thing. Get all this stuff grinded out. We're gonna grind out about 2 inches on each side, and then lay a piece of 1708 in there and seal everything up real good and get it done, and then we can do our pour. Our pour stuff is supposed to be here today, so we're going to try to get this all buttoned up today, so maybe we can get the pour done tomorrow. But yep, we got to get the grinding on this now that it's all set up and put back together. All right, we got everything sanded down. Kind of went a little wide around and a little deep around our patch, so that we made sure we get a good bite everywhere. I apologize for the fans. It's really hot out here. Just trying to stay cool and trying to keep this dust off of me too. At the same time, I got 2 fans running, but as you can see, everything's coming out really nice. We got it all sanded down. We're about to start our 1708 and get all our 1708 patched in, and then we'll have to sand that. But yeah, 1708's next. Stand by. All right, so we got all our 1708 on, rolled it all out, nice and pretty. As you can see right through every bit of it. Got all our air bubbles out. Got it all rolled out nice and pretty and laid down flat as we can get it. And now we just gotta let this sit, kick off, and then we can sand this. And then once our pouring material gets here, we can pour this transom, and then we can cap it off and finish everything up, and then start our fairing on it. But it's coming out really nice. Everything's going well. You can see fiberglass blending right down in good. Everything's working good. Going together nicely. Alright, so our product arrived. It came today. We're gonna do our pour in the morning. We got all our tape, all our holes taped up, everything that needed tape on it. We made a little funnel here out of some styrofoam that I had laying around. Made this, taped this PVC pipe down in the vacuum, into the vacuum cleaner hose, and vacuumed out the all down in it on the inside there. You can see it's pretty clean in there. We vacuumed everything out, and then I wrapped that rag around it and ran acetone through it the best I could. Wiped it all down inside with acetone. So in the morning we're gonna do our pour, get this thing poured, then we'll be able to do our final sanding and our fairing and gel coat, and man, we're getting it together. Looking good, everything coming together great.
Man, you want me to see if it'll do it?
Alright, we're getting ready to do our pour. We got our bunch of our buckets opened up and ready to go. We got our catless, 1 bottle per bucket. I got my son over here to help me do the mixing so that I don't have to stop pouring it once I get started. And we're gonna do this thing. It's a Polymer World ceramic poured transom, and we're gonna get started on it now. And we got a little drill paddle to drill our catless up, and there's our first bottle. We're going. Our funnel's working great.
Is it?
Yep.
Cool deal.
All right, we got our middle all poured up to the top with our Polymer ceramic transom. I made this little thing to go. This here I made out of a coffee container, and you can see there's some holes right there. We put that in the hole in the side, and that's how we, sorry about that, upside down, that's how we got our pour in the side. We filled these sides up just a little bit on these, in these little holes here, just so that we made sure the top came all the way up. It is definitely self-leveling. It definitely has filled it up nicely. So we're just waiting for this to set. once this sets, we're gonna do the sides, finish the sides up. We're gonna let this set a little bit just so it'll hold the sides, and then let's do the sides. All right, so we got it all filled up. We got our sides all filled. You can see it's all the way to the top there. Got it all filled up, and now it's kicking off. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hot. I mean, it's throwing some heat off of that transom, and it's gonna come out good. It's coming together. So our next step will be sanding it out and everything else. But we got it all filled up. Now we just 24 hours for it to kick off. All right, so we got all our stuff sanded out. We got our top cap all fiberglass, the fiberglass all on our top cap, all ready to go. As you can see, we're gonna get that all sanded down, give it one more sand, and then we're gonna get to work on the fairing process. And then this thing will be done. This stuff is amazing. It really is. I'm truly impressed with it. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hard. It's really cool. I think this is great. What a product. Hats off to Polymer for this. I am just ecstatic. I'm so excited. My transom's gonna be good again. I tell you what, great job. Well, fairing's next. Got to do all the fairing, and we'll get that fairing all done, and we got to sand that, fairing and sand and fairing and sand, and then gel coat it, and we'll be finished. Maybe we can hang this motor on this thing this weekend. All right, so I do stucco for a living, so I'm kind of taking the two trays and pulling them together, getting on this done here. This is Formula 27 that I got here. See what it is. Everybody, a lot of good people recommend using this for your filler. All right, so we've done the fairing process on the transom. Here, as you can see, it's smooth as a baby's bottom. It's really nice. Everything's sanded out good. We had a couple of small little pinholes that we wanted to fill right here before we started doing the gel coat. Made a little bit more up, a little bit looser, and filled those up. These are the holes for the bolt. The bolt holes for the motor. We drilled those out yesterday. So right after we did the fairing on it. But yeah, it's coming out really nice. we're pretty much ready for gel coat. Today it's raining, so being that we're doing this outside, we don't want to compromise the gel coat by doing it on a rainy day, so we're going to let it dry out and do it another day. But we're going to get it all cleaned up and cleaned off and wipe it down with acetone real good, and then get started on the gel coat. I'm really impressed with the product. It's amazing how this came out. All right, the gel coat is done. Pretty. Man, what an amazing deal. Everything came out really beautiful. We had a little extra gel coat left over, so we went ahead and redid the bottom of the floor one time also. We had a couple cracks that we fixed in the floor, so we went ahead and painted that floor too. But all in all, the gel coat job came absolutely beautiful. Everything came out good. No bubbles, no cracking, no peeling, no nothing. Everything is wonderful. So the gel coat is done. Next, we hang the motor back on. Okay, so here we are with our Polymer World poured ceramic transom. All the gel coat's finished. Everything's completed. We got our motor back on and mounted. Everything hooked up. We had a little bit of gel coat left over, so we went ahead and re-gel coated the floor in the boat also. I got a little bit of 5200 to fill up a couple of little spots, and that's about it now. But all in all, this transom is solid. The Polymer World poured transom is amazing. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I pushed down on the prop and the whole transom kind of flexed with the boat when I pushed down. Now you push down on the prop and the whole boat bounces with the trailer. That transom is part of that boat, and it's very, very solid. Really good product. When it comes to the Polymer World poured transom, I would definitely use their product again. It's an amazing product. It's really easy to work with. The mixing was very easy. The pouring went very easy. I mean, all you got to take a stick and kind of tap it down and get all your air bubbles out of it and everything, and it's really not a bad product to work with. Really easy to work with. The drilling of the product wasn't bad. It drilled out good. It's definitely drillable. It's definitely sandable. It I would definitely use their product again, and probably would do it exactly the same way that I did this one. I watched a few other information videos on YouTube if you'd like to go check those out. Fish Bump TV is one of the people I watch. He's a third generation boat builder. Real thorough on his information when it comes to fiberglass work, the gel coat work, the finishing of things, the mixing of the MEK. Very thorough with his videos. Real good, clean videos, and real great guy. He does really beautiful work. Boat Works was another one. Boat Works. I believe he's a repair shop, but also another one that's very thorough on his videos. A lot about the painting. He does a lot about painting and stuff of the boats with the epoxy paint and things like that. He shows a lot about patching boats and how to fix, holes and things like that with the fiberglass, and he's very thorough on his information also. And then Perfect Fit Boating. Perfect Fit Boating was the original video that we watched on the ceramic poured transom. I did mine exactly the same way he did his on that video. We cut the skin off the transom, pulled the skin off the back of the transom, and I believe that was one of the best ways to do it. I'd probably do it that way again, the same way, because it was very easy to get all the wood out, very easy to get it all clean, We were able to get it vacuumed out, get all the dust wiped down out of it. So I would do it again that way. I'd pull the skin off. A lot of people just cut the top off the transom and clean it out and pour it that way. And I mean, that's good also, but I really think it was a more thorough way to do it. Being that I already knew how to do a little bit of the fiberglass work, I did it that way. And all in all, it really came out beautiful. It really, really did. So we're real happy with it. If you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. In the description, I will go ahead and put the channels that we watched: Fish Bump TV, Boat Works, and Perfect Fit Boating. I will put them in the description, and I will try to list all of the tools that we use for the process, and all the materials that we use for the process in the description. So if you'd like to know anything, any of the channels that we watched or any of the tools that we used, it'll be in the description below. But in the end, to sum it all up, the Polymer Whirlpool Transom is amazing. I'm really happy with the product. I'm really happy with the way the work went, and I'm just all in all really pleased with the whole entire job and the outcome of it. We have a beautiful boat, and we want to take our hats off to Polymer World and thank them for saving our boat for us, because I really like my boat. I didn't want to get a new one, and this saved me from having to get a new boat. It made my boat brand new again. So thank you very much to Polymer World. Please go and check out those three other channels that I told you about, and they'll be in the description below. And we appreciate you watching our videos. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good day.